Well, welcome, ladies. It's good to have you here today. Deb, as you know, we spoke on the phone a little bit about our confidentiality paperwork, and so I have this here for you guys both to pass out to each other, and I have a pen here for you guys to sign. And as you know, we just went over that to say that what's discussed here, we're having recorded today, and that's just so that I have a supervisor who's going to be looking over some of those things so that we can discuss it later. And it's all confidential, doesn't leave the room, and that way you guys can feel like you're safe here. You can discuss what we talked about on the phone. So again, it's good to have you guys here with us today. And so I want to give you an opportunity to just tell me a little bit about the scenario, and I'd love to start with Lexi if you could. What brings you here today? What are we dealing with?
Yeah, well, things have gotten really stressful at the house because my door got taken away. It's really frustrating not having a door to your own room. I mean, you can't change, you can't do anything of that nature, and it's just kind of stupid because it got taken away because I had a friend in my room, and it was just, there's just no reason. Like, it's all stupid, and life is stupid, and just, like, it sucks, and Frank sucks, and my mom's making stupid decisions, and I don't know.
Okay. All right. And Deb, how do you feel about that? What do you think?
I mean, it's hurtful to hear her say those things about myself and about Frank, who's been so good to us. But I'm here today, and like, I wanted Lexi to come because I'm concerned about her behavior lately. She's been defying rules and just acting in such a way that she never has before, and I'm just really concerned about where this is going. She mentioned some particular instances that have happened lately, and that's why we're here, because I want to address those things and figure out what's going on with her.
Okay, she mentioned having your door removed. Can you kind of give me a little bit of an idea of what led to that? Why do you think that happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, I was allowed to have a friend over, and so we were upstairs and we were just hanging out, and then all of a sudden Frank comes knocking on the door really loud, and all of a sudden he's yelling and acting stupid, like, why are boys in there, what's happening, blah blah blah, and before I know it, my door is being ripped off its hinges, and all of a sudden I don't have a door because I made a big mistake. I don't get it.
Okay. All right. This evening, this on the night that this happened, tell me a little bit what led to that.
Yeah, Frank and I, we're going out on a date. This is not abnormal that we would leave Lexi home. Like, in the past, again, like, her behavior has been consistently good, so we left her at the house alone. Frank told her that she was not allowed to have any friends over, and so that's what we agreed on, and so we left Lexi. We were gone for a couple hours. We came back. The house was trashed, which is never okay. And then we went upstairs to try and find her, to talk to her about it, because obviously there had been people there. And we found her in her room with the boy, and the door was closed. What are we supposed to think about that?
You're saying we decided this and we decided that, but like, the house was a mess. There was a bag of chips sitting on the little stool, and then we go upstairs and we hear this and we hear that. Like, you saw it, like, you knew what was happening. Like, I always have friends over. You knew that I would have friends over. Like, it's normal.
But Lexi, there's a difference when it's a boy in your room and the door is closed. What are we supposed to think about that? Like, Frank and I are just trying to protect you.
Frank's trying to protect me. Oh, that's great. He's just all of a sudden trying to protect me. Okay.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Frank. He's obviously someone that's causing you some irritation. Tell me a little bit about Frank. How long have you known him? And let me give you a little information about him.
Frank and I got married 6 months ago, so we're very excited. It's very new. But Frank has been so good to Lexi and I. He allowed us to move into his house with him. So we're closer to her school, closer to her friends. It's a nice place. Like, we've never had like a life that's this like good, and he takes care of us so well. He loves me, which I've never had that kind of experience before. He's really stepped up and become like a dad to Lexi, and helped kind of create a home environment where we do have like structure, and that's like that's been really great for her, I think. But right now I don't feel like it's working because she's acting out like this.
Okay, are there other instances where you say that she's been acting out a little bit than this evening, that we're talking about?
Yeah, I mean, she's been kind of like secretive. She maybe tells us that she's going somewhere and then ends up going somewhere else. She's with people that we don't know. She brought like directly defying a rule like that we had set. Yeah, I think those are like the main things. Like just like a level of distrust at this point. Like I don't know that we can leave her alone at home.
I've always been allowed. I've always been allowed to have friends over. I've always been allowed to have my phone in my room. I've always been allowed to hang out with people, invite people over, go out to eat with people, and then all of a sudden I'm not allowed to do anything. Like Frank's going through my phone, making sure that things are okay. Frank's doing this. Frank's putting down rules, and Mom's just going along with it this whole entire time. Like Chad, the guy that was in my room, he's not a bad guy. We were just hanging out. Like that has always been okay, and it just doesn't make sense. If Frank came into the picture, before he was in the picture, everything was fine. Like me and Mom had a good relationship, and now here we are, and all of a sudden it's Frank rules, and Frank's house, and Frank's this, and Frank's opinion of how I should act, and Frank's opinion of how Mom should act, and
Well, let me ask you this, Lexi. How would you like to have seen that evening go? Because it seems to me, you said you set rules down that no one was supposed to be there, but then you had it there. So you invited Chad over. And so how would you like to see that evening go? In your mind, what would have been the right way that would have been handled?
I mean, I guess I could have made sure that the house wasn't like really dirty when they got home. I can clean up after myself. I did in our old house too, but we've never talked about a boy being in my room before, and just like I'm allowed to have other friends over, I figured it was okay to have this friend over, and apparently not.
Well, we directly told you you couldn't have friends over.
Is this a normal rule that you've had? I mean, how has it gone in the past with Lexi and friendships and that kind of thing? Is it usually she doesn't have them over? Like, how did it work when it was just the two of you?
Well, when it was just the two of us, it wasn't really as big of a concern because normally I was at the house all the time. So, yeah, she's right in the fact that it was a little bit more, like, flexible. But we've never had a particular instance about, like, she's never had a boy in her room. Like, that it hasn't really been a boundary that we've crossed. So there wasn't really a rule set in place, but it wasn't because I didn't have feelings about it. It was just because we had never talked about it.
Okay, all right, and so, we have this scenario, and obviously there's some strong feelings about Frank in this particular, how would you like to handle this going forward? When you set rules, how do you see that happening to where she can obey these things and you guys can work with each other on this?
Well, I would love for her to respect Frank and like respect his leadership in our family. Like he's come in and given us so much. She just sounds like so ungrateful that she would like complain about all these things that she's been given. Like he just wants to love her and be the father that she didn't have. So I would just like a little bit more respect for him and just that she would respect what we're telling her.
Okay, well, let's play that scenario out a little bit. How would you, so say you're leaving, you and Frank are going on a date this next time, how would you convey those messages, those rules of what you want? Take a moment to look at Lexi and just kind of tell her, like, how would you like to see that happen to where she could follow those?
Yeah, Lex, like the next time we go out, like I would like for there to be an open conversation about the fact that people, like if we say no people over, then that's what we're expecting to come home to. We're expecting you to take care of the house that you've been given, to clean up after yourself, and to just be more respectful of the rules that we've given you.
okay.
Yeah, is that sufficient for you feel like that's reasonable?
Yeah, I feel better about that than me kind of knowing and then all of a sudden having my door ripped off.
Okay, so let's talk about the door removal for a moment. How did you guys reach that decision? How did that come about for you, between you and Frank? Or were you the one who suggested that it would be removed, or was that Frank's idea? How did that come about?
Yeah, it was definitely Frank's idea. I agreed. I thought that it was very punishment fits the crime kind of thing. If Lexi is not making good choices, then privacy is a privilege, and so by removing that door, we removed the temptation to break the rules.
Okay. Is that an open-ended thing, or has there been some kind of discussion as to how long that will be?
I left that up to, like, Frank is going to create that boundary, so I kind of left that up to him.
Okay. I would assume you'd like to have your door back.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't like the fact that I don't know when, like, Frank has just come in and made his own rules, and now I don't even know. I don't even know what happens next.
Okay. So it sounds like you would like for your mother to convey the rules, maybe for a little while, that you would come to an agreement maybe with Frank. I'd like to suggest that what we could do is you could discuss some of the ways you're going to handle some things, and then you would be the one to bring that to Lexi. And you guys would try that out, and then the next time we get together, we could kind of see how that's working, how you feel like that's going. And does that sound like a fair thing to try?
Yeah, I felt okay about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what I would love to see is that eventually we could work to a place where we could bring Frank in, because it does sound like it is Frank's house, and Frank wants some say so. He wants to be a father to you. And so at some point we could bring them in, but for right now we could just let those rules be developed from you to Lexi.
Mm-hmm.
And so if that sounds fair, that would be what I think, that's a way that I think that we should move forward. All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
I look forward to getting together with you next time then.
Thank you so much.
All right.